So this is the agenda for today. So we have some people that's going to come. First thing we're going to do is the college panel discussion, led by Ms. Talia Alfred and Mr. Nicholas Hendricks. And I'm going to introduce them. They're going to make their way up here. Ms. Talia Williams Alfred, graduate of Sweeney High School. She has a bachelor's degree in petroleum engineering from University of Texas. And also she has a Master of Science in Management for Oil and Gas Industry. And she received that degree in Scotland. Amen. So she currently is a Global Sales Director for Schlumberger, often called SLB in London, England. She just flew in on yesterday, not just for us, but she flew in for this event. But anyway, she has worked in the Middle East, United Kingdom, Angola, Tunisia, Nigeria, Congo, Canada, and of course here in the United States of America. She's heavily involved with a company with recruiting and diversity, and she's involved in several organizations. To name a few, she's a founder and president of Sam Feathers Youth Foundation. She's a board member of the Boys and Girls Club of Brazoria County, and also the president of SLB Employee Resource Group, one of their organizations, and also Society of Women Engineers, and so many more. So let's welcome Ms. Talia Alfred. Also, one of our moderators is Nicholas Hendricks. He's a graduate of Brazoria High School. He attended Brazoria College as a freshman, went on to Sam Houston State University, obtained a bachelor's of business administration and accounting, and then he has a Master of Science in Accounting from Sam Houston State University. He's a finance analyst, cost accountant for Dow Chemical. He's responsible for the hydrocarbon business at the Dow Louisiana operations in Plaquemine, Louisiana. He's a recruiter for accountants at LSU in Baton Rouge, and he's involved in several organizations. To name a few, he's a trustee here at the Greater Mount Zion Church, and he's a member of NABA. Let's welcome Nicholas Hendricks.
Good morning. How y'all doing? Good. Very excited to see y'all this morning. We're both excited to be y'all's moderators for this panel. Definitely encouraging questions and stuff like that, and there'll be a designated time for more questions as well too. Definitely the more knowledge and understanding that you can have before college, the easier it's going to be not only for the parents but also the students as well too. So we're going to go ahead and get started, running a little behind time. So Nick, go ahead and bring the other one over. So what you're going to have y'all do, we have a little Menti poll. We want to see like just kind of how many students we got and what ranges we got. So if you go to menti.com, so this is the time to pull out your phones and go to menti.com. So it's called Mentimeter. So MENTI meter, and you just do that on Google real quick. And then whenever you go there, there's a code at the top. It's kind of small, but I got y'all. It's 69388517. So again, it's Mentimeter. You just do that in Google, and then at the very top, it'll say like join code. So 69388517. Yep, and you already got it. So yeah, go ahead and start answering the question. We just want to kind of see what kind of what classification we have in here. So. Okay, we got a couple seniors, sophomores, cool. Okay, sounds good. And so as we're doing that, I have Taya to introduce the panelists for this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So actually, my job is going to be easy because I'm going to have these outstanding college students introduce themselves. So if we can have Garrett come to the stage. Not right now, but once they all get here. Katera, if she can come to the stage as well. Xavier, Alicia, and Alea. Awesome. Go have a seat. So we're going to liven the room up a little bit. So thank you all for being here today. Hopefully this session is the start of a very knowledgeable day. and a start to a successful future for your students as well as for the parents in the room as well. So I'm going to ask the panelists to, one by one, introduce their name, the high school they attended, the college they're attending, their major. If you want to add a little bit of why you chose that major, that's fine. And then last but not least, a fun fact about them. So who would like to go first? She's smiling at me, so.
Okay, my name is Alea Johnson. I attended Swinney High School, and I'm now attending Prairie View A&M with a major in nursing. And a fun fact, I like the color pink.
Me as well.
I'm Alicia King. I went to Swinney High School, and I go to Texas State University. And my major is exercise and sports science, and I want to become a PA, a physician assistant. And a fun fact is I love Spider-Man.
My name is Garrett Epps. I'm a junior mechanical engineering major from Prairie View A&M University. I graduated from Columbia High School. And a fun fact about me, I like to work hard.
Hello, my name is Xavier Woods. I went to Swinney High School, and I go to college at Brazoria College, and my major is process technology. Fun fact is I like sports.
My name is Kateria. I graduated from Wharton High School, and I attend UT Austin, and I'm a biology major. And a fun fact about me is I don't like chocolate.
Interesting. So Nicholas is going to introduce the first part of the session. But after that, we're going to have a few questions from our panelists. We ask that the parents and the students definitely get involved. So you will see a microphone here. So whenever you have a question, they're very transparent, they're kind, and they're willing to answer any questions that you may have. And so whenever you have a question, definitely just come to the mic to ask that question.
Nick, go ahead and go to the next one real quick. So still in the Mentimeter within y'all's phone, I guess what are y'all hoping to get out of today's session? And if you can kind of summarize it in 3 words, what are you trying to get out of today's session? And so while y'all are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pop off the first question. So for the panelists, so when did you start seriously applying to colleges? Like what kind of was that time frame for you within high school or even before high school? We'll start off with Alea, maybe.
This is more so of what not to do. I didn't start applying till my second semester of high school. And I kind of missed like some of the good scholarships, but I did get a lot though.
It was probably the beginning of my senior year, and yeah.
Gotcha.
I started applying on the first day that the applications opened up to follow my senior year.
My junior year, the junior year in the summer.
I started applying like September, October of my senior year of high school.
Okay, got you. Thank you for that. And then another question for me as well too. So, what was the most difficult transition from high school student to a college student? We'll start off with you, Garrett. So again, I'll repeat it again. So, what was the most difficult transition from a high school student to a college student?
The most difficult transition to me was you're now completely independent, whether or not you feel like it. You don't have your parents down the hall to make sure you're getting up on time, you're going to class on time, or to make sure that you're turning your assignments in, that your grades are right. So you have to take the initiative to make sure that you're handling business and staying on top of it. And of course, like you'll tell your parents, but also you won't tell your parents, so they won't know that you miss your Monday 8 a.m. or that you've missed it 3 times that semester. So you just have to stay accountable for yourself.
Are you, Alicia? What are your thoughts on this?
For me, I played a lot of sports in high school, and like that was what strived me to like do so good in like school and everything. So I'm not playing any sports at Texas State, so I had to find like something else to look forward to, I guess, if that makes sense.
Alea, what you think?
My biggest transition was leaving my parents. I had to adapt to like being by myself and just like try to figure. I had to figure everything out on my own. I was so used to like if I couldn't figure out something, then I'll ask my mom, ask my dad. But being there by myself like forced me to figure it out by myself.
No, excellent, excellent advice already. And we see here, as the responses are coming in, the things that you're hoping to get out of this session. It talks about knowledge, advice, information, how to be prepared and how to prepare for college, how college works. Hopefully we can get into that as well. Ideas for college, a better understanding, things to look out for, some guidance, confidence tips. Also, I see scholarships. So we all talked about when we started applying for college. And I wanted just to kind of add a bit to that answer that you all gave. When do you all think students should be applying for college? Well, it was like she started late, but when? When did she say?
I started late, but I think you should start like as soon as possible. Like start now.
Okay, anyone else wants to suggest?
Start as soon as possible. If you haven't started now, I'd probably say like start this evening, because when the scholarship money runs out, it runs out. And these schools, they do have a lot of money to offer us. So the quicker you apply and get accepted, the faster you can apply for a scholarship, or the school can approach you towards one off your high school accolades.
I was gonna say, like, you should definitely like start applying like towards the end of your junior year, because I know some of the really, really good scholarships and big ones, like the Gates Scholarship, it closes like in the summertime before you're even like a senior or you start your senior year. So I would say definitely start like the end of your junior year, but if not, like the beginning of your senior year, because lots of them, like the really, really good ones, close early, like October or September or even like December. So yeah.
And Katera, that's a good point. So we talked about applying for college and start now as soon as possible. Start your junior year. But that's a very good point on scholarships, because, you know, we all like free money, and why not get a paid education if you can, and some grants and scholarships. So a question would be is, how do you apply for scholarships? How do you know which scholarships to apply for, which ones are available, et cetera? So Katera, I'm gonna let you go for that one first.
Okay, so at my school, on our school website, we had like the College and Career Center like tab, and on there it had a bunch of scholarships made available, and it kind of catered towards graduating seniors. But what I did, like, because I come from like Wharton, our school is really small. Like, I used to search up other schools, like surrounding schools, and look at their scholarships to see what they were offering their students, to see if I qualified, because like we didn't have that many coming from Wharton. But I definitely say, like, you know, don't just limit yourself to just like where you go, but like try to look at other schools or like just network. But when applying for scholarships, just make sure, I guess, you're like in extracurriculars, because I know like a lot of them look for stuff like that. Like if you're active in school, you're active in your community, like volunteering wise. And colleges also look at that as well, like to add to your college application. But definitely do keep your essays, like when you write them, like I use multiple of my essays again and again, so definitely keep them like on your Google Drive or a Word document, whatever you use, so you can reuse them.
Okay, we have a question. Even better.
Okay, so a comment, when they say start now and start early, it sounds like it's catered to the juniors and the seniors, but it's for everyone, because the things you have to think about are the components that you start before your junior and senior year. So I call it a shadow box. Keep a shadow box of all the activities that you do. Write it on an index card, a piece of paper, so as you're writing out your application and your essays, you have references to look back at what you've been doing. But also, if you have to take the SAT or ACT, you want to start studying for that early, so that when you submit your application, you already have a strong test score your transcripts, and all of those details.
Thank you very much. And that's a good point. So if we can have a hand of all the freshmen that are in the room, if you all raise your hand. Kennedy's raising her hand high. Some raising her hand slow. Okay, sophomores. Okay, juniors. Awesome. Seniors. Some are ready now. Okay, so good question. How many have started to think about college? Okay, for the seniors, how many have applied? Okay, so we have some work to do, that's okay. Scholarships? Okay, still some time. Xavier, what are your thoughts on applying for scholarships? Say it again, Kenny. Yes, what are your thoughts, and tell the students on applying for scholarships?
I just really applied to like whoever told me to apply. Really.
Yeah, just go ahead and apply. And that's a very good point about the essays, because there are a lot of the essays that you can tweak. They'll ask a question about, your strengths, your weaknesses. They'll say your role model, but there's a lot of, different things that, I'm not gonna say copy and paste, but you can utilize for other essays moving forward.
Okay, so now, and again, throughout the entire workshop as well too, like if you guys have like any questions, again, please feel free to come to the mic at any point in time as well too. And we're gonna be talking more about the scholarships throughout the different workshops that are gonna be in the event center as well too. So now to talk a little bit about the, college experience. Are any of you guys involved in any activities on or off campus? If so, can you please elaborate?
Campus activity is a big one because at the end of the day, when you're 4 or 5 years over, you're going to be in the real world, and entry-level jobs are often going to base, what did you do undergrad? Were you involved? Did you intern? And so I'm involved in 2 organizations. My first one is the National Society of Black Engineers, and the second one is an outreach organization called Student Partnership and Outreach Team. And the type of doors that campus, being involved on campus have opened would have never come had I just went to class and went home. And then the type of skills and experiences that you gain from being involved on campus, you can use in interviewing. You can learn from learn things that you can apply to your day-to-day lives, and you can meet people and network and just grow as a person. So I do truly believe that you need to be involved on campus to grow and get to the next level.
Any other comments on that? No? Well, yeah, I'll definitely piggyback off what Garrett said. So I was involved in campus as well, too. So I was a part of an organization called NABA. It stands for National Association of Black Accountants. And so I definitely say, like, similar to what Garrett said, find an organization that tailors to your major. So, I mean, yeah, of course, there's going to be other type of community service type organizations on campus and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're there to, get a job and, not just, have a good time, but also get a job at the end of the day. And so when they look at your resume, and so I recruit at Southern University, it's a HBCU in Baton Rouge, and one of the things we look for is their involvement. And so if we see that, okay, it's great that you have a 3.5 GPA, that's awesome, but we want to also see what other type of activities that you're involved with as well too, because it's not just about being book smart. We want to see, okay, can you actually talk to people? What leadership skills do you have? And like Garrett mentioned, you're going to get those leadership skills within those different organizations. So like I was president for 1 year, I was vice president for another year, and so even though my GPA was like a 3.3, even the people that had like 3.6, I kind of bumped ahead of them because they saw that leadership experience within me as well too. So I definitely encourage you guys to be a part of an organization whenever you get on campus as well too, and even before as well too for the scholarship purposes as far as like volunteer and stuff like that. But as soon as you get to campus and you figure out and you declare a major, for sure try to lean towards an organization that's gonna kind of help you and grow as a professional. It's gonna definitely make you guys stand out for sure. So just wanted to plug on that as well too. Next question. So for the ones that might have worked, how do you manage school and / organization responsibilities like with the work schedule? Kind of how do you guys manage that? start with you, Xavier, for that one.
Well, I got a part-time job, so my job, they work with me, and then it's really just for your schoolwork, you got to be time management.
What are some things that you feel like, as far as time management, what are some things that that you feel like kind of been helping you with managing your time?
Not really going to too many places.
Perfect answer. Great answer. In college, what great answer. You can't do everything that everyone do. That's just what it is. There's a lot of people that go to college and try to work and this, that, and the third, and that's great at the end of the day. But you can't do it all. So meaning that there's gonna have to be some type of sacrifice involved. So while everyone else is going here and going there, you gotta study. That's just what it is. While everyone else is going here, going there, you gotta work to pay for books and pay for school. That's just what it is. The end goal at the end of the day, again, network and get a job. That's the end goal at the end of the day when it comes to college. So like Xavier said, not going every place that everyone everyone can go. That's just part of it. It's part of the sacrifice for sure. Elisa, do you have any comments on working and managing school?
I work at a daycare, and they're like very, very flexible because they have like a whole bunch of college students that work there. And for the first semester, I had a lot of classes on Monday and Wednesday, so I wouldn't work them days. But on the other days, I would just like work when I'm not in class or when I don't have class. But it's a lot because you have to take a bus to do this and do that just to go to work. But anyway, I like to make money, so I would just work whenever I'm not in class, and I'll be good on the weekends. Amen.
No, that's a good point. And we were talking about how to prepare for college as well. And time management is one of the things that were also brought up. So speaking from experience, I graduated from Swinney High School. Like I think 2 people here graduated from Swinney High School. And the studying in Swinney High School is a bit different, I'm speaking on behalf of myself, than it is in college. So if you can highlight to the students, what was the largest transition from studying in high school and transitioning to studying in college, and how that actually affects your time management as well? Was it the same? Was it harder? Was it easy? Did you have to practice some different studying techniques? Just for myself, I'll go first. My studying was, starting at 11 o'clock at night. I would study probably to around midnight or so, and then I would do really well. Went to college, couldn't do that. So I had to, come up with different study habits, write things down, highlight, get a tutor, find a buddy, a friend. And actually, to study for one test took weeks, a few days, opposed to, 1 hour, like I said before, in Swinney, right? So what are some tips that you all have, and some stories, life lessons from studying in high school, transitioning to studying in college?
I'll go first.
Yes, go ahead, Garrett.
Well, like she said, they don't translate at all. High school doesn't too much prepare you for college, and that's okay, because you're actively learning in college. So you'll learn yourself. You'll learn what study habits work best for you. And what I've learned is to study fast and study early. So if you learn some material on Monday, you need to look at it again on Monday. Let's look at it again on Tuesday, because you're going to get more material on Wednesday, and it's going to keep snowballing and piling up. So just look at it early, look at it fast. And as far as assignments go, take care of assignments when you have the time. Don't put it off. If you know the assignment's not due till Sunday night at 11:59, don't start it Sunday at 3. Like when you first get to college, you can't do that. It is easy, but it's not a good habit. So if you have the time on a Tuesday to do an assignment that's not due till Sunday, knock it out on Tuesday, because you never know what life will hit you or when you get involved, what type of organization responsibilities that you'll have. Or if your friends might want to do something on Saturday, but you haven't done your assignments and you've got 5 days worth of assignments, so it's not feasible for you to do anything on Saturday because you need to be in your books.
Thank you, Garrett. Katera, did you want to add to that?
I would definitely just say like prioritizing, because and I feel like I had this bad like my first semester, like comparing myself to other people in college. And it's like, of course, like we're all smart, like we got here for a reason. But like I would hear like my other like peers like say how they stay up all night like till 5 in the morning studying, and I felt bad because like I would be going to sleep at like 11 at night. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I need to stay up all night to like genuinely understand this work. But I found out that's not for me. Like staying up all night to study for something is not something I do. I try to study like once I learn the material like that same day. And I'll stay up studying till like 11 and then I'm going to sleep because I have to get up at my 9 a.m. So I definitely just say find what's best for you. But like just like you said as well, like in high school I used to just could study the day before and be fine. But like now I definitely have to like prioritize and study at least like start studying like a week before. But yeah, I just say find what works for you and try not to like, I guess, limit yourself to like a certain study habit because there's like many different studying habits that you can approach and that fits for you. So yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else want to add on studying? Okay, go ahead. Garrett.
Also, learn to work in groups. You're surrounded by a lot of smart people with the same goal in mind. So figure out who your group is within your major or within, it don't have to be your major, just figure out who your group is that you can study and work with and y'all can push each other and grow each other. Like my close group of friends, we're all engineers. We're all taking the same classes, we all got the same struggles. So we study together. As much as we possibly can, we study together. And if we can't study together, we'll bounce ideas off each other, or we'll at least hold each other accountable and make sure that we're handling business.
No, thank you, Garrett. And that's a good point. How many students in there are actively involved in high school? Organizations? Okay. Sports? Okay. When I say involved, it's the organizations. No one said anything. And then sports, everybody raised it. What's the favorite sport out here? Football, basketball, track? Suggestions? Dance? Football? Anybody play football? Okay, one person. Basketball? Who plays basketball? A few? Okay. Band, dance? Someone told me that band was for geeks. That's not true. I was in band for 6 years. So I guess the question when you're involved in your study, and of course I went to UT Austin, so hook 'em horns. I got really involved because I started trying to get in everything. And then I realized, kind of as Garrett said, so I was a part of NSBE as well, National Society of Black Engineers, and it is important to have that group. And so once I got involved, I had my dad genes where I started doing too much. And then I realized, okay, I have to study. I have to not be involved in everything. So how do I actually do that? So I had to pick 2 organizations at the time to actively be a part of. And I chose those organizations wisely based on my peers and what they were studying, how they were doing, major as well. So I think, can you guys highlight some of the organizations you all are in? I know Garrett said NSBE. I know we have some other ones.
I'm in BHPO, so it's just Black health professionals. And I was in a few others, but like I quickly realized that was not for me, like trying to take that many orgs. But I know like they say to choose one like based off your major, one based off of like, volunteer hours, getting community service, and then another one that just interests you. But I'm in Black health professionals.
Okay, amazing.
Question for y'all. So what habits do you feel like that are producing like successful traits or successful fruit, I guess, in college? So what habits do you feel like this is what either I wish I had coming in or habits that you're doing right now to make you successful throughout your college journey?
Probably the best habit for me is just not giving up. Yeah, college is hard. There's some things that are not going to stick the first time. You can fail classes, that's okay. You can drop a class, that's okay. So just not giving up. If you fail your first exam, just know you have 2 more, you've got 3 more. You might have a retake, like just keep going. If you fail a quiz, if you fail a homework, like just keep going, keep pushing through. Don't stop, no matter how hard it feels, it's gonna eventually click. And if it doesn't click, you can try again next semester. Something will click.
Anybody else? Any habits that you feel like you do that's like, okay, yep, this is working for me. This is what's making me successful in college?
I would say realizing that you can't make it to every event, like every party, every like function, every kickback, like you can't make it to everyone. So And also, I feel like another thing that like I wish I would have known going into college is that the food is really not good. Like I wish I would have brought more food.